for SK Gaming. What do they have to do to try to upset G2? Because at Ready Check, you'd say, if it was going to happen, jokingly, of course, that this game could be the one.
I mean, I think that SK is in a really awkward spot where, to me, it feels that they have no collective idea of how they want to approach the game. We see shining moments from Crownshot. Last week, we saw a couple of good performances from Jenax, but there's no clear identity to how they actually play the game.
What percentage chance does SK have to win?
I mean, against G2, 50%.
50%?
50%!
Very quick.
50% percentage! 5%!
5% and 50%. We will see if G2 can bounce back with a convincing win against SK as we'll leave it to Jankos and Frost.
Holy.
Vegas, what are you on? And can I have some? Oh.
That's a coin flip. He knows that, right? That's a D2. Okay, all right, Venius. Interesting takes aside, we're here for G2 Esports versus SK Gaming. G2 Esports still the heavy favorites, despite their questionable previous weeks.
Despite their grabs modifier.
The grabs modifier. Yeah, I don't think we can blame that one on grabs. It's not like grabs goes backstage and Caps just has to die 7 times in a single game.
Clicks the keyboard.
Here we go. Tension builds. The final game of the day.
2.
It always makes me feel like I should be coming in.
It
Like,
actually just gives me unnecessary anxiety, that countdown.
but you're soothed by the man going, oh, afterwards.
We've talked a lot about G2. As we head into draft, we can actually look on the other side against SK. From red side, I hope that SK are able to get at least one strong lane, at least one strong side of the map, because I feel like a lot of their issues have been that they don't necessarily even get to play in the team fight phase. Their bread and butter compositions have been the Jarvans, the Orange, the Misfortunes. They love their wombo combos, they love drafting for team fights, but they never really get there. The game kind of ends because someone got smashed in lane phase, they got cut out in a rotation, everything really falls apart. So from red side, hopefully they can find that counter pick, find that strong matchup, and get to actually play a team fight.
Yeah, and it's really concerning when one of the things that you talk about for a team is struggling in the lane phase, because if there's any team that can capitalize on the laning discrepancies, it is G2. Now, right now, they're being matched by a lot of other top teams, with SK being towards the bottom. You have to know that a single kill could just end the laning phase outright. For now, though, it will be the Ornn, the Syndra band away, Karthus and the Ezreal on the opposite side, as well as the Aphelios.
What's the priority pick? G2, because you pretty much banned a lot of them that I thought would go that direction. Are you going to pick Set? Are you going to flex it? Ooh, Pantheon.
I like it. Pantheon flex. Saw this in the Misfits game as well. See what SK Gaming's response is. A lot of the priority 80 carries taken away. Of course, Crownshot could just go right back to the Misfortune.
And we saw earlier today that Pantheon is getting played more up into the top side of the map. Sacre, I unfortunately think the most thing that he's heard, or the phrase that he's heard most this year is Ornn's a good pick here. Now, obviously, Ornn, super powerful, is banned away, so we really haven't got to see Sacre practice many other matchups, and I think this Pantheon is probably going top lane, and that puts a lot of pressure on Sacre and how he's going to deal with it. He was the AP play guy, Vladimir,
he was
Nico.
ranged carries. He wanted to just stay at a distance. He could build up advantages that way. I think that's when we saw him at his peak, and you're right, because he's been that guy or he's been the Ornn guy, as you said, Frostern. But for now, they'll buy time. Maybe he's the guy that they want to save counter pick for. For now, it will be the Xayah Rakan. Personally, I like this much more than anything Misfortune related, but now the draft is getting spicy. Already we've got a Taliyah locked in alongside a Thresh, and that's Taliyah Pantheon. And now you may remember it as a delightful bot lane duo.
But there's Thresh.
No, I know. But now, have you thought about it as a jungle mid lane?
It's either jungle mid or it's jungle top.
Which is a nightmare to deal with.
I mean, technically, it could still be mid top. I
thought you were going to say technically it could still be bot lane. I was like, dang, we're going deep into the G2 mind games. It's 2019 all over again.
I think it's going to be jungle top, but we've talked pretty much at length in the past about how Pantheon and Taliyah works, and all you got to know is that Pantheon lands on you, and then Taliyah flicks you, and in the air, you are dead. There's no landing.
Yeah, point and click stun combined real good with skill shot stun. That's how that one works. All right, see what G2 want to round out with. They are actually going to ban the Misfortune away on the SK Gaming side, which does feel like G2 Esports are then going to need to get a bit more creative. Going to see Caps dig a bit deeper into the champion pool. Personally, I'm excited because I think Lucian might be another champion that we could see here, and any champion with a dash feels like a good champion for Caps.
Yeah, naturally you'd aim for the Misfortune because you already have Mikyx showing the Thresh. One of the better combos to pair with Thresh is the Misfortune. I mean, technically, you pair Thresh with Misfortune to help her, and she's pretty immobile. You could also potentially look for more dive-oriented champions. Something that Thresh really excels in unlocking for compositions is because he has Dark Passage with Lantern, you have champions that can fly into a backline and then he throws them Lantern, pulls them back out into safety.
Ooh, and I like this. Aatrox now banned away, limiting the option of a potential double flex with the Pantheon and the Aatrox, just swapping them so that the Aatrox is against the set no matter where he goes. So taking that option, SK really respecting the flex pick here. And I do wonder if both Jenax and Sacre are willing to play the set to follow the Pantheon.
I mean, it seems that G2 Esports are respecting the fact that Sacre and Jenax can both play the set and banning both a mid laner and a top laner and the Gangplank in the Orianna bans. And they'll rightfully hold their hand, get as much information from G2 as possible before they decide exactly where that set is going to land, and hopefully, again, sculpt themselves out a winning lane or preferably a winning side of the map.
Ooh, and I do like seeing the Sejuani come in for Trick. Of course, Trick can be a very powerful jungle. Haven't really seen too much of it yet this split. Sad to see the cards is taken away from him, but now we get to see how deep the champion pool goes. With an AP jungler, it does free up a few more of the AD choices. And bot lane still remains a big question mark for me. And maybe the answer from G2 is just to pick more flex picks. Could just... This is going deep here.
That could be Zoe bottom.
Could be Zoe bottom, and they could just take triple flex and just move everything around.
Zoe bottom works very similarly. I think we saw it a couple of times, but it works similarly to how Orianna bot used to work, which was you're primarily a wave clear tool. If they lock in Aurelia, you're just like, what champion is actually getting played where?
All right. Don't think it's going to be the Bard.
Gnar got some changes.
Gnar did get some changes and is going to get locked in now. Makes me feel like it's Pantheon in the mid lane. Gnar, most comfortable in the top lane, wants a long lane to run down his target. Of course, his buffs were jungle Gnar, mostly, as well as some additional ratios on some of his other skills. But
I think that means that it's Zoe bot.
Zoe bot.
Could also be Pantheon bot? No.
Okay, we're playing
Pantheon
G2
bot.
roulette again. Let's just see. Let's just see. It's a new patch. We'll enjoy it. And SK Gaming, this is something we talked about. Sacre returning to comfort, returning to Kennen in the top lane. And honestly, when your back's against the wall, when you're at the bottom of the table, I do love to see it. And it looks like it will be...
Wait. We got 20 seconds. Well, they have till 20
yeah,
seconds.
at 20 seconds, we'll know exactly where everything's going to go.
Talking to SK, as you just said, I like the fact that SK Gaming are going back to the comfort, because again, they've really been struggling in their lane phase to even get to a stage of the game where they can play. So I'm glad to see Sacre back on comfort like that Kennen that you were just talking about. I'm gonna keep my eyes on Jenax, and it's not... Oh, wow, they really did change up as I look back at G2. Okay, Taliyah bot. Still the same thing.
Wait. You guys can't see the client, but we can see the client.
Oh no.
That Taliyah has smite.
They've got double smite.
The people most excited to watch this game are anyone who's a League of Legends fan and the Balance team to see what they got in Nerf next.
He changed
He changed? He changed?
He changed.
All right, he changed.
Sorry,
I apologize.
guys.
False hope. He swapped it around. But here we are, getting ready for game. Thank you, Keanu. Just getting up there.
No, you're beautiful.
Of course, the final moments before we get to watch how this composition unfolds. It is the exhaust in the end for the Taliyah. A ton of setup here on the bottom side.
But because Jankos is playing jungle Pantheon, you still get the same combination here. It's Pantheon rocks in, stuns them, straight into the flick. There's so much kill pressure. You throw a death sentence on top of that. I still feel that the game plan is team up Pantheon and Taliyah.
All right, well, let's see what Grabs has to say about this interesting draft.
Thank you very much, Jankos. I am joined by Grabs. Now, your players beforehand said you have a fetish for bad drafts. Does this fall onto that sort of scale?
If you lose, yes. If you win, probably not. But yeah.
That's really good. You have so many flex picks, like the Pantheon, the Taliyah, the Zoe. Like, why do you guys seem to prioritize having so much flexibility in draft?
Because it's fun.
Cool. And that's all from us for now. We're going to hand it back to the casters. It's fun. It's fun.
I learned a lot there.
Yeah, that was not very useful in terms of information. Shout outs to G2, though. I like this because you can say that this is something we expect from G2, but honestly, it's not for me. Recently, it has been stock standard. It has not been the G2 we've come to know and love. So this draft feels like a return to 2019.
What I do want to point out is that you have two sweepers already for G2. You have one on Pantheon, and you also have one on Taliyah. So we talked about how the obvious combo to me is teaming them up, and now that both of them have sweepers, we're going to see where they're denying vision and how they're teaming them up and getting them through this river, which they have a lot of ability to do. And as I say that, look at G2's bot lane. they've stacked in the brush. This is the solo Q special. Oh no, they're just delayed
They've-
fading. I wanted the solo Q special where you just wait for someone to face check into you.
Thing is, you want to just walk up there, get that Unraveled Earth in enemy territory, or you just want to push in for vision to track jungle pathing. Much more responsible, much more safe choice.
So let's talk about Taliyah bottom. Now, when we saw it in the LCK, it was played with the Pantheon, and obviously having Thresh, it's a little bit different here. I talked about how Zoe, Orianna, and Taliyah are kind of all doing the same thing in the bot lane. The caveat to that, though, is that Taliyah needs to make note of the ground. So you can see that Caps is stepping forward, and he's getting the, what is it, Unraveled Earth?
Yeah, no, Unraveled Earth is the E.
The-
It's a threaded volley. The work ground is what you're looking for here, though.
Yeah, but it's about where she's placing her
Worked ground.
there we go. The worked ground. So she needs to get the wave. I'm like, I don't know what that passive is
Champion
called.
hasn't been picked in forever.
But she needs to get the unworked ground pretty far up into the lane so that as the wave crashes back into her, she still has the ability to throw out multiple pieces of her Q. Whereas if you have a Zoe or an Orianna bot, you're obviously not working around that limitation, and it's just about pushing the wave. So I actually really like that Mikyx and Caps are playing so aggro here. A, to deny Xayah and Rakan, who are so strong at level 1, like shoving waves in themselves, but also not being punished there by finding themselves in a situation where Taliyah's just throwing out like a single Q because she's already put the ground down.
Yeah, one of the buffs that they did to Taliyah a while back when they were trying to pull her out of the
back.
jungle was lowering the cooldown to work ground so that she could Q more often. But Jankos is now here. They're zoning off, and very aggressive play from the side of G2. The really only punish that SK have open as an option for them is Kennen on the top side, just pushing in, getting a bit more pressure there. But just a lot of CS being denied here very beautifully by G2.
Yeah, they have Xayah and Rakan have 3 creeps between them right now. And obviously level 3 to level 1 and 2 is a real feels bad as there goes Limit, and you can see that already Trick is being pulled down here just to protect his bot lane from a potential dive. So I really like, again, how G2 are working around Taliyah's passive, how they're using her very strong wave clear, and how they're really just punching Xayah Rakan in the mouth.
And they're going to need at least a few more levels before they can really start to contest this, because it's a very high-risk proposition to go in as Rakan into a Thresh. But Set trying to get a bit more done, going sleepy. Big damage coming in onto Jenax. Baited, and he's going to get him. Easy pick up there. Cap's now in a little bit of trouble. Can't just take the Lantern, but he has not grabbed it yet. He's just pulling back. I think he can step forward, fish for a hook or a flay, but we'll back off. So positive trade for SK on the bottom side, but hugely positive trade for G2 in the mid.
I actually think Caps wasn't in trouble until Mikyx actually missed the death sentence. If he had connected that, I think that would actually be a win for G2 in mid and bot lane, as here comes Trick.
Here we go. Mikyx should just go down here. At least he's going to have to burn the flash. Trick now stepping forward. The flash Q forward. Mikyx doesn't flash away, just gives up his life on the back of that play.
That was the key mistake. You unblinded there, Jankos. The fact that Mikyx does have flash. He just should have respected Trick right there. He would have flashed away to safety and been fine, but SK do get something back on the board and are starting to alleviate some of the pressure on the spot lane.
And a bit concerning. So now Sacre is getting engaged on here by Wunder. Making it, of course, very easy for Sacre to harass down. But I'm concerned for G2's bottom lane. This is definitely, after the strong level 1 through 3, that was not what they wanted. But we can see back mid lane what happened.
Yeah, taking another look at this one. Perkz using the speed up there, manages to get into range, hits the sleep. Good job on Jankos not to break it so that he can also connect the Q damage, and then the sleep is broken, and then chases him under the tower for the, spear? Kill.
Yeah.
Oh,
For the Comet Spear.
we're zipping through this one. That was the BuzzFeed of the replays. Thank you, observers.
Yeah, and this feels really questionable to me because this, maybe it looks different on Mickey's screen, but that felt so telegraphed. Like
I'm
that
sure
was
if you
very clear what he wanted to do. So I do wonder if it was a conscious choice from Mikyx just not to give up the flash.
I don't think it was a conscious choice to be like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
really going to die here, I think.
Yeah, we won't give him the benefit of the doubt then. But good on Jankos in the mid lane. They obviously saw the Haymaker cooldown used by Jenax that was heavily nerfed last patch. So the second he uses that, it's pretty free tower dive for the side of G2. And now Perkz is very comfortable. You can see Boots too, just to weave in and out here and harass. And everything's going great right now for G2 at this point in the game.
And you said it in draft phase that for SK, a team like G2 is normally going to be anyone's nightmare, but especially because of how aggressive that they play in lanes. And across the board, you can see all of G2's members super far forward up in their lanes, really just trying to get every single chip of damage that they can down. And I guess when you're against a jungler like Trick, who isn't really known as a ganking-oriented jungler, you're pretty free to do this.
Yeah, Trick has been very passive so far this split, so it does feel like a good punish onto those tendencies. Mikyx, the play backwards, but a good dash out from Limit. Battle Dance takes him to safety.
Here comes the dive.
Trick is here as well, though. Good damage down on the Crownshot. It's a sleepy recon, but the body block comes in. They will stop the play from happening, but do manage to force out the heal, it looks like, from Limit.
And you're starting to see some of the other combinations there. They're basically just trying to, G2 are basically just trying to stack as much or any piece of CC that they can on top of that flick, which, where's the flick gonna go?
Now they're walking in. Hook gonna come out, but it goes wide. Rakan does manage to make it to the backside. The TP now coming in. Crownshot, no mana, but not contested in the play. Will just be pushed out by the seismic shove.
He's got 6.
Yeah, but no flash. They can't just walk away from the play. Perkz is gonna come in. Sleepy Trouble Bubble over the wall, using the terrain to extend. Well played. Follow-up can happen, but definitely not the fight that they want. Aftershock now comes in. Stun can't come out as well. The dunk back into the middle of the team, and now Jenax is there. The Haymaker, where's it going to go? Big damage onto Mikyx, but not quite enough. Jankos is still alive. He's channeling extra damage, but not nearly enough to keep him safe. Crownshot walks away with another kill as Perkz is now on the hunt. Sleepy Trouble Bubble connects. Crownshot desperate to finish off a kill because he knows he's already dead, but no! Perkz takes another one, a heartbreaker for SK.
And it feels like G2 are trying to play with their food, but their food bit back there. SK do manage to get something for their trouble. That said, they still lose across the majority of the play because you're losing all of this gold and this experience that Mikyx and Caps are then shoving into the lane. But you can definitely feel that G2 are limit testing a bit here.
Yeah. The limit of the hook hitbox, very tangible there for Mikyx.
It went a little bit wide. Interesting that Caps is now, he's held his flick, and he actually used it to disengage this time around. You already called Perkz using the terrain, extends and lands the sleep. Unfortunately, there's no follow-up damage there, so yeah, I guess it stalls SK Gaming to wait around as Mikyx hit that one, bent it around the minion. Pretty sure that minion was like directly in eye line of that hook, but...
And this is just such a close, 2 incredibly low health bars. And you see Crownshot gets 1, and he's so keen about that one that he wants to go for a second, but it doesn't work out. But that said, only a small gold deficit overall for SK. Almost 1,000 this early in the game, not going to be the end of the world.
Lived down here. Limit and Crownshot are in like a 2v4, and occasionally Trick shows up.
But to be fair, when we talk about SK as a team, Crownshot is one of the names that consistently comes up, though. Limit gonna get flicked back and taken down. That was the ideal case for that bottom lane. Now Sacre is gonna be in trouble. Conqueror procced, ultimate gonna be forced out. Wunder. Here comes the house, the flash to safety. The Penguin on ice will not be enough.
And there's the layering of the CC pieces that we were talking about. So in the duration of the death sentence, the amount of damage that Talia can output and just chain you in those CCs that you don't really get much response time if you're SK.
Now Jankos stepping in, has a bit of vision. Focus well to take him out to safety. Mikyx has to be careful, though, because he can't lantern himself out. Now Mickey's going to be in trouble. Kennen on the way down, but no ultimate available for Sacre. It makes this quite a questionable play. I think he's going to arrive to this play a little bit too late. Well walled off.
Oh, that feels really bad for Sacre.
Yeah. It's especially painful because of Kennen's walk animation. It's like a little waddle forward. You can almost hear him say, guys, I'm coming. I'm on the way. But he will get all that bot lane farm because Crownshot is a very nice person.
He had to, otherwise it would have been so punishing for him. It might actually force, Crownshot's heading topside. It might actually force SK to play for Herald here as they are swapping on the fact that Kennen used the TP, has now found himself into the bot lane. That said, G2 are now matching it. So it's not just a free trade here for SK, and it just feels like no matter where this little bot lane goes, G2 are determined to punish them.
Poor Crownshot. Yeah, they keep setting up shop, setting up a tent there.
And because it's Sejuani versus Pantheon, Jankos can actually just solo out this Drake if he wants to.
Yeah, really not under threat. Cap's being a little bit careful to step forward here. Doesn't have eyes on Limit. Feels like he has a guess, but doesn't know. That's not nearly enough respect paid to the Rakan. The knockup is there. There's no ulti from Limit quite yet. So Cap's actually not in danger whatsoever as Crownshot doesn't really feel comfortable to commit there. And Wunder is dunking down on this matchup, but not quite hard enough. Clean escape now from Sacre if they try to die for this one. It is a little bit risky. Lockup is there. Jankos can just use the E to deny the tower damage, but Wunder is in trouble. One more shot, one more to follow, and that's a 1-for-1 shutdown for Sacre.
Poor Sacre. His ult was just about to tick off of cooldown, so wasn't able to have any sort of big pieces of CC there to help alleviate that dive. Jankos actually looked like he was eyeballing the dragon, but then Wunder was probably like, hey, we can kill this guy under the tower, and then Jankos comes flying in.
Perkz. Limit and Trick definitely stepping forward. And Just constant play after play from G2.
I like the fact that they G2 seem very determined just to murder SK Gaming.
Such a strong word,
I mean-
Oscarin. There you go. Here comes Perkz. Long-range paddle star. Will not use it on the Jenax. But Mikyx just constantly fishing with these hooks. Must not be scared whatsoever. I guess Caps can throw out the E, the Unraveled Earth at any time and kind of deny a lot of the entryways for SK.
That is pretty cool. The fact that both Thresh and Talia can play the disengage options in this duo, as you just called it out there. So yeah, Mikyx probably feels fine to fish.
Oh, he was spotted. Oh, wait.
Ghost is behind them.
3v3. Full aggro. Lantern comes in. They're going to try to find the engage. Ooh, that's a big cooldown burn. Now has to dash into safety. Mikyx not going to even throw the hook. Oh, no. Oh, no. They know he's there. Trick. Not like this. Oh, he's the first guy in the horror movie to die. Or is Caps? Caps. Not going to be able to walk away. This is charmed up. Going to be able to find the kill on the side of the Rakan. Limit now has to run for the hills. Coming around the corner. But here comes the rest of the team. That flash was tragic. And Crownshot. Just another name on a list for G2. Wunder running him down. Where's the next Penguin going to go? Going forward. Stolen flash. Leap in. Good escape from Crownshot.
Meanwhile, in mid and bot lane, Set and Kennen getting some good time with these towers, though.
That's
all I got.
plates. I mean, that's fine. It's still a 2K lead for G2, but...
I mean, it's definitely not fine for SK.
Yeah. In the context of SK versus G2, you kind of take what you can get. Frosco.
This is just...
Yeah.
Brutal.
Bit one-sided. Bit one-sided. You keep getting, I don't know about you, but I keep getting hope. I see Limit like landing these constant knockups from Rakan. Now he's level 6, but it just never results in much.
The thing is again, G2 have like all of the tools that they can actually turn towards these monster objectives. They can try forcing it, but it feels like G2 are like C hero, kill hero, and it just targets on Crownshot and Limit.
And it doesn't get easier either because the Luden's Echo now comes in. Now the Hose has come in, the Hextech GLP 800, which means that that's essentially going to hit confirm the Talia knockback, even if Mikyx continues to whiff hooks in this game. Definitely a bit difficult.
Yeah, Cap's playing more of the utility role here while Jankos is taking on that damage threat.
And that has to feel bad for Jenax. You don't get a chance to respond. You can throw out that beefy haymaker, but you're never going to hit the Zoe with it. Mikyx, Hex flashed over the wall. Hook goes in, does not connect it.
Trick round 3.
If at first you do not succeed, try again. Jankos, he's the man who's been caught out, but the Lantern's there. Instant disengage. You can see why they picked this champion. That is another very sad TP for the side of SK. The disengage. G2 are just playing with their food.
I have a feeling we might see some desperation here from SK if they don't actually reset themselves here. Like, they expended so much to get this fight, they might try to force it. Oh no, they're locked out of their lanes. Okay, here we go.
You're coming back. Now the engage is going to come out. Limit running his little legs as fast as he can. They've been spotted out. There's actually nothing for them to get here.
Meanwhile,
Perkz has a free TP.
Oh no. This is ring around the rosies for SK Gaming and they lost.
Yes. I mean, we look across the lane, not a single lane has a CS advantage. Trick is now in trouble because the entire team is here. They also have the Lantern to get out to safety if they need to. TP used by G2. Seems like G2 are ready to fight. Now Wunder, not a lot of time left on the Mega Gnar. But if you can get an ult down, it will be huge. Jankos going to leap forward. The Rakan knocked back, but he does manage to make it safety. No, Mikyx! He snipes him with the hook. It is actually a death sentence for the first time in League of Legends history.
Jankos
Another kill happens.
A nice sidestep there to deny Sacre the kill with the Q, and Perkz is still on the... Okay. He's still on the chase.
Still on the chase. That's the hyper. Third proc's going to come in. Wunder's going to start to run him down. Nowhere for Crownshot to go. Goodbye. He Goomba stomps him. There's so many style points right now for G2.
Mega Gnar. Oh, Mikyx!
Calculated. This is the G2 everyone was missing. 5K gold lead. We're 15 minutes into the game. I would like to clarify that, of course, a Thresh Q has killed someone before in pro play, but I always think it's funny when it does. And for Sacre, I mean, what hasn't killed him at this point?
Oh, this is mean.
Yeah. That is what it is.
The thing is that SK Gaming have been stuck in this prison that G2 have made for like the last 3 minutes.
Yep.
They've just been trapped in this top river, unsure how to get back into their own lanes. Wunder and Perkz absolutely walked them out of the mid lane, took the mid-tier tower, and then just hunted them down, ripped them apart.
Yeah. And Jenax actually walks into Wunder at the literal worst time. He has just enough Mega Gnar left to slam, use the full combo, and then turns into Mini to run him down. Why is this the replay we watch all of? This is cruel, replay team. We don't need to see it. Except for the Goomba Stomp, that was sweet. SK will grab the Ocean Drake. It is the silver lining, I suppose.
Look at the story of this game is in the itemization differences at this point between G2 and SK. Like,
What are you talking about? Set has 2 items and a ruby crystal. Perkz has just a base component. Sacre is in trouble. He can ult here. Oh, Wunder. Not quite enough. So Perkz will get that kill quite easily. Of course, if you want to see the story of Perkz, an LEC legend, Zoe Abuser.
this is the most
Check it out now on YouTube.
brutal billboard I've ever seen. They're like diving Sacre for the 50th time this game. The lower third pops up. By the way, Perkz, an absolute legend.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, on the one hand, Crownshot.
If you had a heat map of where Sacre's been, it's literally been underneath towers and then
Yeah.
dead. That's like,
Yeah, Fountain Tower, Fountain Tower.
your
Fountain
solo queue
Tower.
team's flaming you like, Kennen, just play safe. Stop inting, stop feed. He's like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know what you want me to do.
Where can I go?
There's 6 of them. Frost.
Yeah?
I think this is the game where if you're SK, you go, all right, we'll hold out.
I have no idea what you're
No,
gonna
no,
say.
come on, bear with me.
Okay,
Bear with me.
okay,
We're
okay,
going to
okay.
get there eventually. If you're Sacre, you say, you know, I've always loved towers. I always felt comfortable there. No. If this is a game where you kind of just look at the game, you go, okay, we probably lost this one. You have to take that for what it is, and you have to stay composed for the match ahead of you, because that was so Captain Jack. Once again, G2 just styling. Literally just making a montage here.
Continue.
But
You're SK.
you just can't let this break you mentally, because there are other games you can win. This is not one of them. Short of a miracle, I don't feel bad saying this is not one of them. Now, Trick goes in. Kennen can try to dash his way out of this one. A good stun now coming down. Wunder trying to run for the hills. The Hyper Proc should let him speed out to safety.
Reminder that the Captain Jack cleanse meant that Trick didn't have his ult there. So Wunder.
Wunder missed the boomerang. Oh.
Oh, wait, set!
Here,
Get him, Jenax!
Jenax,
Get
come
him!
on. Use
Go!
the face breaker. How many shots can... Yes.
Yes!
Justice for SK! Dunked down! Yeah! Also, they lost bot tower, but small victories. Name of the game.
Meanwhile, on Inhib,
Yeah. It's a 19-minute game. G2 won't break a record, I believe, with this one, but it will be a very fast one, if I had to guess. Baron isn't even really on the table because it hasn't spawned yet. But very rarely at 19-minute games do you see teams take the inhibitor. G2 are just that far ahead. But don't worry, Jenax is hitting that tower. And if there's anything we've learned from watching Nuke Duck play Nautilus, it's that it might take
Trick
a
has
while.
ult.
Ooh, Perkz does manage to steal a cleanse away on that one, and then goes right back in. Did he pick up cleanse off a creep? Mikhail's from Mickey. Never mind, just great teamwork. I thought he just actually clutch picked up a cleanse off a creep.
That'd be so frustrating.
That would be infuriating.
Jenax did do decent damage to the tower until Wunder returned and chased him off his lawn. The Baron's now in play, but I feel like if G2 even look at the Baron, it's simply to draw SK to them so they can continue to stack their KDAs.
Yeah, they're padding real good. Especially Perkz, 2-0-7.
I think he wishes that was more of like a 9-0-0.
True, true. But it's been very spread out in terms of kills. And one thing that I will say is that, like, there's not a lot to take, I think, from this win from either team. Honestly, like, I don't know how serious of a G2 draft this is, but what I will say is that it's nice to see Caps play something that isn't an AD carry. Like, it is good to see that, because it's something that we were promised when this lane swap came around, that like, oh, the mages and the champion pools, and then Caps played Perma Senna. It was like, oh, okay, well, that's...
I mean, is that necessarily a good thing as we head into a tank meta, though?
I mean, I'm just excited that we're getting some of the things that G2 kind of promised, which is more diversity in the bot lane. I'm not saying Taliyah is the answer. I'm just saying it is in the right direction.
I already knew that Caps could play Taliyah. I don't know how comfortable Caps is on something like a Xayah or Tristana, and those champions might be much more valuable if you've got, like, tank.
But to be fair to my man, he is building Leandri's Torment. which is marginally good against tanks.
Well, hopefully PGL will get the answers for us, and Grabs will fill us in on what Caps can play.
How the role swap has changed G2 more at, I have no idea what time it is.
More at
11. There you go. It's a strong prediction for this game. 10:45, perhaps. Ooh. Now the range is just there for G2. Perkz just gets to free hit,
Okay.
but the TP
Jenax.
flank is here. Jenax.
Oh no!
Oh, already. Another engage. Going in.
Who's he gonna grab?
Dunking Wunder back down, but no, just whiffing that one completely. Jankos gonna body block all of that damage. And Crownshot's now in trouble. G2 are just running into the base. They're gonna break down another tower, essentially uncontested. That's every summoner Jenax had to offer, but it will not result in the kill that they were looking for. Ooh, hook onto set, knock back onto set, no chance to push Haymaker, and Jenax dies.
He went into Death Sentence, into Flay, into Flick, into Dead.
Yeah. I feel like every time Set's ult comes out, you have to get really loud and like growly and cheer with it, but that was definitely an inappropriate time to get growly and loud and cheer with it.
I just think Trick is looking longingly across at G2. He's like, I remember fonder days.
I was gonna start singing, never mind. This game's almost over. All right, here we go, G2. It's not quite a victory lap. They still have to get through the rest of the team, but now Limit is on the way in. Sacre doesn't have an ultimate. He already used it in the last fight. There's really nothing for SK here, but they're gonna try anyway. Why? Because they've got heart, but they don't have damage, so they won't kill anyone. And G2 are gonna turn to the mid lane.
Can you beat someone with heart?
We're gonna find out together, Frosco. And like we said, not a lot to take from this game for either team.
Unfortunately, I think G2 have to back off here.
Yeah. Oh, another flick. Knockback. This time the Haymaker's ready, though. Caps caught out.
Oh, Wunder about to go mega.
Disengage. Does Wunder get his montage moment? It does not look like it. Trick will be taken down.
There was a brief moment there where Trick was on the right side. He was back in between his G2 brothers, and he looked across at the enemy.
Oh. Dreams dying in his eyes. Light fading. Please. Gotta say, though, the hit rates for Mikyx this game, not ideal.
He keeps throwing them though, because he's trying to average it out.
If they hit, someone dies. Oh, the suplex back. Jenax with the Haymaker.
Oh,
the
good
follow-ups
combo.
there. Good damage. Now Crownshot's in the midst of everything. Sacre's there too. Jankos is definitely dead. Crownshot just throws out the auto. That'll be the finish. Shut down there. The game is still very impossible to win, but that was a fantastic play from
Okay.
SK.
Silver lining. SK Gaming now have 3 free farm lanes.
True.
Yeah.
This is actually a ton of gold. If they survive this inhibitor response, what is it, like 2K gold per inhibitor, essentially you can soak up if you're on top of it?
Yeah, so that was the pro there. The con is that Baron is still available, and if G2 really do want to actually flex, they could actually just walk over to it.
We're just watching Perkz.
Isn't it a replay
Yeah,
of a back timer?
Perkz is just recalling and leaving his team to die.
That's like probably in comms, guys. I really want to go buy this item. All of G2, fight, 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 fight.
Yeah. And we're having fun with it, but I want to clarify, like, no BM to SK. Like, this happens. You're getting G2'd. It happens to the best teams in the league, happens to the worst teams in the league. Like, it just happens. Sometimes G2 show up and they just destroy people.
I mean,
you
to
know?
be fair, G2 did this to teams on the MSI and
Yeah. Some of them 3 times in a row in the fastest international best of 5 at MSI, but others, you know, less.
have they lasted longer than TL?
Yeah. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure, yeah. All right, there's the knockup. Mickey now caught out the flick back. Mickey's going to flash out to safety.
Oh, here comes Wunder.
Perkz. Ooh, dunk back. Jenax going to use Wunder as an escape train. And G2 are just going to move in for the kill here. The play till you lose philosophy, not going to continue through for G2.
They got one more team fighting them.
Oh, the hook. It's barely going to miss there. Redemption comes in.
Go, Sacre!
Sacre, big ultimate, but no Zanya's means instant death. This is the last stand for SK. The wall will split them. Jenax dies. Everyone dies except for Trick and Crownshot. And that's going to be the end of the game. G2 Esports moving in. Dominance from start to finish, from level 1 when they zoned him off the tower to this entire mess that you're witnessing on your screen now.
Run, Trick.
Yeah. Congrats to G2 moving up to 8-3. It's like the end of Burn after reading. What did we learn? I don't know. Not to do it again, I guess.
Big smiles.
Yeah.
If I was going to sign up for a G2 experience, I think that would be the one, though.
Why would anyone sign up for that?
I don't know. I mean, if you're Mickey and Caps, you're probably having a great time.
No, I know. I understand G2's having a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Why would anyone else sign up for that? Well played. I liked it. I liked the variants. I liked the flex picks. I liked the draft. The game, the execution was there for G2, and sadly for SK, just couldn't really get it together.
Yeah, big hugs all around.
Yeah. I like seeing Sacre back on the cannon. Sadly, a lot of the TPs that game were... It's not like the idea was there, the just positioning just wasn't, and G2 were just so good at stepping away the second they saw a TP that a pick like Kennen, like the set without Flash, just didn't really get to do anything in any of those fights.
I always just think it's super fun to watch